to take a look at a little budget team. I was getting a lot of people talking about my squad, and they said, hey, can you play with a budget team or can you build a budget team? So what we looked at here is we went around to every single player, and kind of the rules were we wanted to stay under 100,000 coins for one individual player. So we understand that this whole team is still pretty expensive.
Linemen are not budget.
Linemen's not budget, and neither is the fullback. I don't really count those guys really for the way I play, right? So, but every other position, if you take a look, they're going to be players that, while you combine the entire team, it could create an expensive team. But each of these players, if you target them for your team, they could fill a hole on your roster. But these are the guys you want to target. Like if you don't have an elite corner or an elite linebacker to have the budget to get one, these players will fill in very nicely.
So there's a formula in Ultimate Team, and for those of you guys that don't know, the Team of the Week items are where I find the most value consistently, also in Football Outsiders players. So right now, I think these base items are starting to come down a lot in price. These elite base items between 86 and 88 are kind of some really good options right now. This Demaryius Thomas, I think, is the best of the bunch between Julio, Jordy, kind of those guys. I would take this Demaryius Thomas, put him at the 1. He can block. Things will be looking pretty good for your roster.
17,000 coins right now, that Demaryius Thomas. 17,000
Worth every
coins.
penny. Worth every penny. You've got Tavon Austin in the slot. T.Y. Hilton's a guy I would take, depending on the route running. We talked about that last week.
30,000 coins for Tavon Austin.
Pair him in to go deep. You've got Alshon Jeffrey, who can do a little bit of everything.
He's the feature one guy.
Odell's an option. Brandon Marshall's big. Mariota, what do you like about him as far as a budget quarterback goes?
I think he's going for about 60,000 coins. Let me see, 60.
This is the new. So there's two Mariotas. There's an 85 Mariota for guys that want a true budget guy, but then this is the newer Mariota.
75,000. This is still pretty budget for a quarterback that's going to play like one of the best players in the game. Compare him to the Vic, because that's what I'm saying. The flashback Vic, in my opinion, is the single best quarterback in the game. And when you stack them up, you can see that Mariota, you could argue that Mariota is better than Vic. He's a little slower, a little less throw power, but he has quite a bit more in terms of throw accuracy medium, 10 more. And then he has more throw accuracy short, so 4. And he gives up 6 throw accuracy deep. So depending on your scheme, how you play, this Mariota could be way better. And for 75,000 coins, and let's take a look at this flashback Vic. Let's see what he's going for. That flashback Vic, 240.
So you can definitely save some there. So also for guys that like a pocket passer, this is a new Jay Cutler. He stacks up pretty favorably to the Eli Manning. I know a lot of the people on the EA Sports Stream team use the Eli Manning as their quarterback. So maybe this is a guy you can look into if you like a pocket passer. 99 throw power, and can pretty much make most of the throws. So those are some good budget guys.
If you're really looking to go more budget at quarterback, you drop down to the 85 Mariota. He's 20,000 coins, and he's 1 or 2 below and everything. So he's a stud. I think halfbacks are very important to talk about too.
So halfbacks are very important. I think that the BCA D'Angelo Williams is better than the season's vet personally. Mm-hmm. So I would go there for budget looks. But you did do two things nicely here. Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen, excellent catching halfbacks out of the backfield. Archer as a true speed burner. Mm-hmm. You're going to like what he brings to the table. I think Chris Ivory is somebody that people really like for just a true trucking back.
Maybe even LeGarrette Blount, 83 overall most feared Blount.
And then Todd Gurley, he got a Schefter star, but he never really got that price drop you expect to see with a Schefter star. He's still going for $30K, so maybe he'll come down this weekend, but I don't expect him to. So you might have to bite it and just kind of make the Schefter Gurley before he goes away.
Yeah.
Because those run out after about 4 weeks, I think. So I like the tight end position. You got Eifert for just pure catching. This is his second team of the week.
I got him specifically for spectacular catch. He stacks up against some of the best in the game, so that's what I have him there for.
Jared Cook has really nothing but speed and strength.
Probably expensive.
He's probably pretty expensive.
Let me see.
Some other guys, I like to go with just straight blocking tight end Vance McDonald, BCA.
$60K for that Jared Cook.
Lee Smith, not worth the price on the Cook. No offense to Cook.
No.
Barnage is a very good, just all-around balanced guy. He's pretty strong, pretty good run block.
I have him in the lineup there.
Lacks a little bit of route running. I would take the Julius Thomas as the best base route runner.
That base gold Jordan Cameron also very good. He's going to be super cheap, and I love that he's got 93 spectacular catch.
So, defensively, I think where you get the most bang for your buck is the linebacker position. I've been calling this since day one. Jadeveon Clowney's, Pernell McPhee's, all guys. These are the original versions of these items. There's just so many linebackers in this game, and linebackers give you so much flexibility on all your positions. So. The Jordan Reed also a very good tight end with route running, but you got Aaron Lynch, Football Outsiders. He's been a guy we've been recommending for a long time. I think your defense is a lot more inexpensive than your offense.
Definitely. But guys, super important. You gotta right now target these players. If you don't have them on your team, literally go into mutthead.com. Go to your log online and start trying to get these players on your team. This Aaron Lynch, 4,000 coins.
Pennies.
4,000 coins.
Pennies.
That's like, and he's going to play like an absolute stud with 87 speed, 96 excel, and 95 power move. You need this guy to do one thing and one thing only. I want him to pass rush. That's what you're going to get with value players. They can do one thing really well, but that one thing has to be, like, I only want Lynch to pass rush. I know that.
Right. So Brandon Williams is just a house of pain. I mean, you look at this flashback
He's
Sue.
better than...
He's as good as flashback Sue, which is...
stopping the run.
At specifically stopping the run. Doesn't have the power move, doesn't have the play rec.
No.
But to stop the run, at the end of the day, Brandon Williams, for pennies on the dollar...
He'll be better.
Will be just as good, if not better. Danny Shelton, same way. Clowney, excellent user defender. You compare him to the Anthony Barr, road to the playoffs. You stack up Clowney, you stack up Barr. Those are your user items. Nick Perry off the edge, great contain. Telvin Smith, super speed. People like to use him.
Have you checked out the Whitney Merciless?
I have.
The Merciless is ridiculous.
He's merciless.
He's nasty.
See what I did?
Yeah.
86 speed, 96 acceleration.
92 pursuit, 92 tackle, 92 hit power.
92 hit power, you like that.
Good strength.
Good.
Malden, very good too.
Malden is excellent. He's this exact same basically as Shaquille Barrett, who we've been chirping up for a long time.
We got Barrett at our DN. So our DNs, our backup DNs are Smith.
Shaq Daddy Barrett,
Yep.
and then Jacques Smith, who we've been calling for quite a bit as well.
So there is a ton of value with those guys. Like,
Yeah.
you could survive with those guys for a very long time.
You've built this for man coverage. This is a man coverage secondary.
Well, I mean, I built it for man coverage, but I also have 4 stud zone defensive players in the secondary as well.
So Josh Norman would be one.
Mm-hmm. You got Harrison Smith as the other.
Okay.
McCourty is the other.
Yeah.
And so is Sean Smith.
So if you wanted to play 4 across in zone,
Yep.
you'd sub all those
I'd
guys.
sub in Smith and Norman and put them at the 1 and 2. Sub out Gilmore and Darby, and then I'd have 4 corner safety combinations. That if I play cover 4 or cover 3, they're going to play great zone coverage, and that's the purpose of having them on the squad. If I want to play all man, I'm going to leave my regular lineup in the game.
Right. Christian Kirksey's a guy you could exchange with Malcolm Smith depending on price and depending on man coverage. We run him in our regular lineup. So, but these guys, great speed, great value. All of them do something very specifically well. So if you're looking for some budget options, make sure to check these out.
Mm-hmm. I have a tweet, and I'll put it in the chat so that you guys have a visual of this lineup from both sides, the offense and defense, so you can take a look at it after we take it down on screen. But I think the important thing here, and when we talk about finding value players, because this is a question that we get all the time, is how do you find value players? You're going to go into game or practice mode here, and I'll talk about finding value,
Yeah,
right?
how do you find value?
So finding value, you really need to focus on finding that one specific thing that player does really well. So if you're going to say, I need to find a corner, and I need to find a corner that plays man coverage, you need to find go to mutthead.com. You can use the auction house the same way, right? Search for man coverage rating on Mutthead.
Let's teach them how to do that. I don't think there could be anything more important.
Let's do it. Let's teach them. Yeah.
So
this is how I do it personally.
So you go to the Mutt database, you go to player rankings. Huge shout out to Mutthead, Rockets. You go to Madden 16 players. That's what you want to do. Then you go to the right side. So you go by position.
Whatever you're going for.
Check
Corner.
off
Let's go to corner.
CB. And then you go advanced. You do. There's another way to do this to actually.
Yeah, go up to the top.
Yeah, to actually
go
get
up top.
them
Rating right there.
Rating.
Yeah.
Man coverage.
Yep.
Man coverage.
Alphabets go up.
Man coverage.
It's up.
Man coverage.
M comes
there it
before.
Get rankings.
This is going to put them by highest to lowest man coverage.
But
rating.
that's no good. I only want players from a certain price. Boom! All of a sudden, you just type in the prices you want over here, and that will let you know within a certain range who's doing what. So that's really important to have. But from here, you can see all their ratings.
But stop right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already found our first budget, and it's the Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie Gold. He's actually supposed to be in my roster. But the whole point here with this Rodgers-Cromartie, finding him on the squad here is you take a look at all these other guys. Like, you could go out and get this Rondé Barber. Like, you could be like, oh, I need the Rondé Barber to play man coverage. I need him. Well, he costs 300,000 coins.
Right.
If you want Rondé Barber to match up pound for pound with this Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie in man-to-man coverage, I'm going to say that this Rodgers-Cromartie will play just as good in man coverage, maybe if not better, with his ratings. And that's what you have to do when you find value. I talked about this on the stream the other day, is you have to find the value of a player. You can't put all your coins into one player that is only going to play one position, do one thing for you. So if you don't have a ton of coins to spend, you need to find these value guys so that you can mix and match guys to hide some of your weaknesses on your roster.
Indeed. It's important. It's very important. We're going to head into game and look at some tips. We're also going to come back out and talk about the patch. We're going to take your mailbag questions. Gibbs, you want to grab the defensive side of the ball, grab your playbook.